What if Griffith were in Demon Slayer? Would he join the Demon Slayers, or would he eventually side with Muzan? What changes would he make to the story of Demon Slayer? Griffith may be a very skilled swordsman, but he's not close to the level of a Demon Slayer. Look, Tandino at the beginning of his journey already shows feats equivalent to having supersonic speed, while Griffith has a speed just a little above average. So what will Griffith do to match the demons? Will he learn a breathing technique? After all, how did Griffith end up in Demon Slayer? Before I tell you, like the video and subscribe to the channel to become a Hashira. That helps me a lot. Now look, during a hunt, the Band of the Hawk and their leader Griffith encounter a demon. An entity full of multiversal powers sends Griffith to the Demon Slayer universe. Griffith finds himself in the middle of Tandino's battle against Rui, the spider demon. Definitely surprised by Tandino's moves after the hunter is tricked by the demon, Rui targets Griffith, but he is saved by Tomioka, the water Hashira, who decapitates the demon in the blink of an eye. With the arrival of Shinobu and Kanao, a fight over Nezuko breaks out. Griffith is confused. Are these humans really on par with what he imagines demons to be? Or is it just in his head? Will Griffith just stand by and watch? Or will he take action in this situation? He would certainly support Tomioka, and he would try to hold Kanao back in a sword duel. After all, Tomioka saved him. Griffith is smart. He needs strong people who can show him the way home. Even more so if he has to fight beings he can't handle on his own. Kanao can easily defeat Griffith, but the battle ends before the mercenary even thinks it's the end for him. Griffith talks with both Hashiras in order to learn more about them, like their fighting style and abilities. Griffith realizes he doesn't belong in that world. The Hashiras take him to Boyashiki, so Griffith can get more answers from the leader of the Demon Slayer Corps. Kaguya gives him all the information he needs, especially about Muzan, the king of the demons. Since Griffith is a skilled mercenary, Kaguya, after hearing his story, proposes that he fight against the demons alongside the Demon Slayer Corps. He's sure he'll find a demon capable of taking him back to his world. Griffith believes he won't be able to fight against demons. After all, he's not even close to Tanjiro's level, but Kaguya suggests that a Hashira train him. Soon he receives training from Shinobu, the insect Hashira. Griffith, with his refined and agile fighting style, his thrusting technique matches perfectly with Shinobu's techniques. Soon he undergoes rigorous training with the insect Hashira. He also embarks on several missions alongside her against the Onis. Quickly, Griffith masters the insect breathing style and becomes someone capable of dealing with the Onis easily. We should remember that even though in this universe Griffith may not reach the same level as Tanjiro, in Berserk as a human, he is the leader of a band of mercenaries, and he's highly skilled as a swordsman. In his first confrontation against Guts, he managed to defeat him in just a few seconds. Besides his ability to handle multiple enemies at the same time, Griffith is a genius in combat, with quick thinking and agile movements. Insect breathing would allow him to enhance his abilities even further, becoming even more skilled than Shinobu's own disciple in a short time. As time goes by, Griffith considers forming his own kingdom in this world. Considering he may never be able to return home, he now has a new goal: to build a kingdom far from, let's say, the jurisdiction of the Demon Slayer Corps, to become the only one capable of defending his kingdom and to be praised for it. Remember, he's very intelligent and extremely manipulative, so as he embarks on missions and meets new people, including hunters, he uses his charm to gain new followers. Little by little, he even tries to seduce Shinobu. However, she doesn't fall for Griffith's charm. After all, the insect Hashira is focused on her revenge against the Oni who killed her sister. But look, after the events of the Mugen Train and the Entertainment District, Tanjiro goes to the Swordsmith village, where he runs into Griffith. He would be there to get a new sword that could better suit his new fighting style. Attention, otaku! You're living like an NPC. You wake up tired, you procrastinate everything, and you feel like trash at the end of the day. Another month drags on, and nothing changes. Stop respawning into failure. Let me introduce you to my ultimate personal organization and productivity system. It turns your routine into a personal growth RPG. You'll level up while having fun, earning coins and rewards for completed tasks. This system is based on methods used by CEOs and high-performance athletes, like GTD, Eisenhower, Pomodoro, and much more. It's fun, it's addictive, and it works. You've already wasted too much time. Click the link in the description and start leveling up your life as a true protagonist, as we know. Victory is easily charmed by any guy who has even a trait she finds even slightly interesting. So she would be easily manipulated by Griffith at that moment. Griffith knows that with the support of a Hashira, he will definitely be able to achieve his goal. And remember, he will do anything to reach this goal. When the village is invaded, Mitsuri, who was with Griffith in the room, is able to quickly reach the battle against Hantengu soon. Even though Multiru is thrown out of the room and lands near Gyoko, with Mitsuri's arrival aiming to learn about the Oni's furious wind attack. Hantengu's clones are easily defeated. This time you can see that Mitsuri is the one fighting directly against Upper Moon 4 alongside Tanjiro. Meanwhile, Griffith decides to protect the village against Gyoko's demon fish, precisely because he is saving the villagers. He would be able to gain allies who would provide his kingdom with weapons capable of fighting against the demons soon. He is getting closer and closer to making his goal a reality. With the defeat of Gyoko, the Upper Moon 5, and the defeat of Rantango, the Upper Moon 4, Zan decides to invade the Hunter's mansion to absorb Nezuko and become immune to the sun. Since up until now, Griffith has hardly changed the story of Demon Slayer at all. That's because the real change starts now, when he invades the Demon Slayer Corps and takes them to the Infinity Castle. After a few missions fighting against the Onis, Griffith realizes that he won't be able to return to his world. After all, no Oni, no matter how powerful, would take him back. And knowing that this could be the final battle against Muzan, Griffith starts to realize that his goal might never be achieved. He stands before thousands of Oni. He exterminates them easily with his insect-breathing technique, aiming to escape the Infinity Castle and survive the battle, because he knew that the numbers were too high for the hunters to handle, and judging by the number of upper moons, with Muzan on top of that, the hunters wouldn't be able to survive this battle. Griffith runs toward Muzan, finding the King of Demons recovering from Tamayo's poison inside his cocoon. Griffith is an extremely manipulative person and does everything to achieve his goal. Soon he begs the King of Demons, asking him to let him live, willing to do anything for it. Even inside his cocoon, Muzan sees the possibility of victory against the hunters. Therefore, he says he will grant Griffith powers and give him immortality if he kills at least one Hashira and gets rid of the hunters around him. Griffith knows exactly what to do. He obliterates the hunters around Muzan's cocoon, and he goes after the easiest Hashira to kill. Or rather, the easiest Hashira to kill, the Hashira who blindly believes in Griffith. In the battle against Nakimi, while Mitsuri and Obanai are fighting against the substitute Upper Moon 4, Griffith arrives to support them. However, the twist happens when Griffith stabs Mitsuri in the back. Obanai gets distracted and is soon crushed by one of the castle's rooms. Nakimi understands perfectly that Muzan has managed to get a traitor inside the Demon Slayer Corps. Soon he takes him to Muzan again, who comes out of his cocoon, turning Griffith into his new Upper Moon 5. And now, what will Griffith's powers be like as a demon? And the main question actually is, will the Demon Slayers be able to defeat Muzan? Griffith's betrayal will have a huge impact here. So before I tell you, take this moment to leave a like on this video and don't forget to subscribe to the channel with the notification bell on so you don't miss the next character coming to Demon Slayer. After receiving Muzan's blood, Griffith would become Griffith of the Black Wings, the Oni with several insane powers. He would make the hunters regret ever meeting him. With Muzan controlling Griffith, he realizes that Griffith is very similar to himself in terms of personality and thoughts. Soon, he would grant Griffith his kingdom if he followed his order, which at that moment would be just one: to kill his former colleagues. Griffith would fly through the Infinity Castle. With the goal of extermination, Griffith first encounters Kanao and Inosuke right after Duma's fall. Both hunters are exhausted after the fight against Upper Moon 2, but they still stand against Griffith. For him, it's just a rematch against Kanao. Griffith uses his new powers against the hunters, showing for the first time his Oni Kekai Kekijutsu, similar to the overwhelming presence of Fento. His Kekai Kekijutsu allows Griffith to distort the space around him. He can bend the ground, trap the enemy in the air, or throw them against walls with overwhelming force. Thanks to this ability and his swordsmanship, Griffith manages to overpower the hunters, being ruthless and relentless. Unlike Duma, the Upper Moon 2 Griff doesn't play around in combat, especially knowing the potential strength of the hunters. With that in mind, Kanao and Inosuke are defeated right there. In order to become even more powerful and survive the Battle of the Infinity Castle, he absorbs Kanao, and Inosuke moves on to his next target. Reaching Zenitsu, he fights against Griffith with all his strength but is crushed by the Oni's Kekai Kekijutsu and absorbed by him. Meanwhile, the rest of the hunters head toward Muzan, and others surround the Infinity Castle in search of Nakimi, the Oni who controls the Infinity Castle. The information that Griffith is a traitor has already reached the Hashiras through their crows. Griffith appears before Tanjiro and Tomioka, who were exhausted from the recent battle against Upper Moon 3. Tanjiro is in disbelief at Griffith's betrayal. He launches a devastating attack against the Oni, but is caught off guard by the Oni's control over space. Fortunately for the hunters, after the Hashira training, Tanjiro became stronger. After the battle against Upper Moon 3, Tomioka awakened his Slayer mark, becoming even stronger and able to keep up in the fight against Griffith. As time goes by, however, Nakimi appears to fight alongside Griffith. This makes the battle harder for the hunters. Because of this, Griffith manages to land a surprise attack on Tanjiro, who was low on energy due to his recent fight against Upper Moon 3. In the end, both demons kill Tomioka, causing crucial losses in the fight against Muzan. The King of Demons becomes victorious, crushing the remaining Hashiras. In the end, he manages to absorb Nezuko and becomes immune to the sun. And building his reign of terror across the world, Griffith, as an Upper Moon, dominates the entire continent, just like the other Upper Moons of Muzan. Thus, his goal becomes a reality in that universe. But what about you, Otaku? Did you like the video? Comment down below which character you want to see next in the Demon Slayer universe. I picked out this video for you to watch. I guarantee you'll like it. I'll see you there.